time for an upcycle. 18 of my favorite Thriftmas gift ideas. Check it out.
Happy Thriftmas, everyone. So here are a ton of gifts, mostly thrifted with a few things added. Some of my favorites I thought I would reshare with you. Let's start with a thrifted bird cage. I love this type of gift for a tea lover. Put some vintage teacups inside a little vintage bird cage and then their favorite tea, and it is a fabulous presentation. Next up, a thrifted bag is always very cool, especially a plaid bowling bag. Some thrifted champagne glasses, and then you can elevate it just a touch with their favorite champs, as well as some pop rocks in each of the glass, because pop rocks in champagne is really fun, or you can rim the edge of the glass with honey and dip them in pop rocks when you drink the champagne, and it's really quite fabulous. Next up, blue and white is always classic. You can find it all over vintage and thrift stores. People can put this in any kind of home decor, but if you really particularly have someone that loves blue and white, put some fresh greens in it with a few lights before you gift it. Next up, books for kids. Always in excellent condition. You can find a ton of great stories. Give them a little cleanup with some Lysol wipes and wrap them up, and you are good to go. If you have someone that particularly loves Christmas, you can purchase something like this. The thrift stores are loaded with holiday decor. I gave this a coat of gold paint and then just wrapped some tissue paper around 3 candles, and we'll gift that with it. And then, of course, again, for the holiday lover, this vintage pot and cup set. You can always give something like this and then just load it with some really fun cookies, something to just add a little bit to it. Next up, coffee table books. You can always find a ton of really cool books. Atlases, books about history. If it's for a gentleman in your life or a female that likes ties, you can always put a tie on it, tie the tie on it like a bow, so it's kind of a double gift. Then, of course, you cannot forget the lover of clothing, vintage clothing, this very cool tuxedo blazer, oversized, and then you can pair it with some kind of fun bag. Beaded bags are really in. I say they're always in, but right now particularly they are very in. It's always fun to combine a couple of items like this, because then literally someone's good to go. A crisp white button down, a pair of Levi's, and they've got a little tuxedo blazer and a bag. This is a magazine rack that I painted white. I attached a beer opener to it and put a bunch of different beers in it. You could use the magazine rack for any theme. You could load it with pancake mix. You could load it with kids' art supplies and tie a little pencil sharpener onto it. Sky's the limit with this. It's a great delivery system for gifts. I typically tend to stay away from buying coffee mugs, but if you're going to and you want to, I would load them with fun mints or a whole hot chocolate setup. You could give them as one-off gifts, or you could give them all in a set. Take a fun piece of vintage glass. You all know that I love a good vintage glass piece. Load it with someone's favorite candy. Of course, a vintage candy dish is always a great holder for all kinds of gifts. I love to put a beautiful soap inside, as well as some bracelets or bangles or pearls, and then you can wrap this up, and this is a great little host gift or a fun little gift for a teen. I really love this toy orca. My son was really into orcas when I bought this for him, and loaded it with his favorite candy, closed it up, and then we have really big stockings, so I just slid that in his stocking. But just a really fun way to deliver stocking goodies. I always grab wine chillers whenever I see them, super inexpensive, and you can load them with something pretty, some floral, an orchid, a poinsettia. Then not only do they get a pretty plant that's just ready to set off to the side when you walk in, they don't have to put water in it or anything. They also get a chiller. And of course, accessories. Always look for that jewelry stamped .925 for sterling silver. I love purchasing vintage watches and giving them kind of a refresh. If they've held up this long, they're going to continue to hold up. And of course, always again with the drink sets. If you're going to gift someone some type of alcohol or wine, make it a set. These were thrifted margarita glasses. Take some vintage pearls or an old school bandana and tie it around the bottles that you gift with it, or even an ornament in one of the glasses. And of course, any type of bucket you can use. You can either have one that already has a pattern on it, or you can take a bucket like this and wrap it in wrapping paper or peel and stick paper. Some thrifted martini glasses, again, a fun ornament inside of one of the glasses. And then there is even a flannel down inside with a really nice vodka. So instead of purchasing filling to put inside something, just buy a cool piece of clothing and wrap everything up in that, so they can wear their cozy little flannel on their patio and have a martini. And of course, one of those fun, simple gifts for the coffee lover, ceramic coffee cups, their favorite coffee, a little basket. Next up, we've got frames. Y'all know that I love to frame everything from photos to postcards to pieces of art out of a coffee table art book. And once you've got something framed, I always like to throw an accessory in with it, a fun necklace, an initial necklace, some kind of vintage necklace, and those two pair really well together. So I would say, minus the alcohol, that most of these little gift sets per each one were under $10, which it's just a really great way to save money and keep yourself out of the big box stores buying new stuff. You're being a little eco-friendly, you're keeping things out of a landfill, but most importantly, you're being creative. You're giving something that you took a little time to curate because you did go to a thrift store and kind of hunt it down. And it's incredibly unique and sustainable. So hit those thrift stores, curate some beautiful gifts, have a little fun with it. Happy upcycling and Merry Thriftmas.